Alright, so we're doing a recipe from glutenfreeonashoestring.com. This is gluten-free coffee cake muffins, and we're just going to go through and make it and review it and tell you what we think. She recommends Better Batter, which I agree, it's a really good gluten-free flour. We're going to use brown sugar and cornstarch.
Can you buy that through her website?
Yeah, I think there's a link on there. We're going to use some baking powder and baking soda. We'll also use a bit of xanthan gum, some ground cinnamon, and then in the recipe and method, she has you pull out the eggs and the milk and the butter and let them sit out to be room temperature. So in the recipe it says buttermilk, but I'm not using buttermilk because we're going to do this dairy free. So this is oat milk. I don't know the brand. Insert brand here. Okay, so we're using oat milk here, make it dairy free. This is Califia oat milk, it's gluten free.
And then the butter is the Country Crock plant-based butter. We use the
olive oil
one. That's our favorite. They have other
versions
flavors.
of it, almond and cashew,
avocado.
I think. We also have vanilla. This is Watkins brand. Okay, so we're going to start off making the crumble. This has to sit in the fridge while you make the actual muffin batter, so definitely start with this. Alright, so you're going to start with brown sugar. It is half a cup packed. Then we're going to put this is 4 tablespoons of vegetable shortening.
We don't have shortening, so we're using the butter.
You're just going to blend this up really well.
So it looks a little like that.
Cool, then we're going to add half a cup of the better batter. All right. And then we're going to put a bit of xanthan gum, 1/4 of a teaspoon. If you're not familiar with xanthan gum, it's just a binder. You can buy it at pretty much any store, any natural store for sure, local grocery store. Mix this up and put it in the fridge. You can see it gets pretty crumbly. So here we're gonna make the muffin batter. First things first, preheat oven to 350. And then she says, grab your muffin pan.
Do we need to spray them?
She says to lightly grease them. In a medium-sized bowl, place the flour.
And we have noticed that they come out, like the product comes out a lot better.
Much better, especially when you're baking. It's definitely an exact science, so don't screw around, okay? A little more xanthan gum in here. Half of a teaspoon. 1/4 of a cup of cornstarch, or 36 grams. And
Beautiful.
JK, because cornstarch gets stuck. Baking powder, we'll do a teaspoon. Baking soda, don't get these mixed up because that'd be bad. Your muffins would be giant. This is kosher salt. I don't have kosher salt. So, alright, 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. Sugar. 150 grams, or 3/4 of a cup. Okay. And sugar in. Okay, so we have all of our dry stuff in.
It looks beautiful.
I'm gonna whisk it all together. That's a pretty important step. It puts air into the flour. It also makes sure that your leavening agents like the baking powder and baking soda are well incorporated into the flour, so definitely don't skip that. We'll place the butter and the granulated sugar. Oh, poop. I already put the sugar. See, this is why. Stuff like this needs to be separated.
Yep. We're learning as we go as well. So you're supposed to put the sugar in with the butter. We put the sugar in with the dry ingredients. So we'll see how this turns out.
So I'm adding the sugar, everybody.
With everything else. Just a little.
We're gonna put the eggs in there. Oh wait, vanilla too. Vanilla is a teaspoon. So adding the vanilla to the sugar and the butter before you add the eggs is actually pretty important because the alcohol and the vanilla will break down the eggs. So do that first, and then add the eggs.
And then add the eggs. Okay. So it looks like this.
Something like that. Here in a minute, you'll start to see the eggs and the butter come together. Because they're at room temperature, they'll stay separated a little bit. But you can already start to see it's starting to get air in there, fluff up a little bit. So just a third of the flour mixture.
Okay.
Hey, bud.
Oh, it's looking like batter.
Scrape down the sides. Okay, so take a look here. This is milk. I think I forgot to mention this earlier, but so this is not buttermilk. It's oat milk with
we mentioned that.
a little bit of lemon in it.
Oh, lemon.
So the lemon just gives it that sour note that buttermilk has. So you can see it's kind of started to separate the milk. It's totally okay. It just the acid from the lemon breaks down the milk. So
that seems to work out pretty well for us when we're trying to do a buttermilk substitute. Just adding some lemon into whatever milk we're using.
Some people like to add vinegar. I personally like lemon, especially if you're baking.
It's a little
just as nicer.
Yeah.
So we'll add about half of the remaining batter here.
Wow, that's pretty. So you have to slowly incorporate it in.
Slowly add the flour and the buttermilk. And we can just add the rest of the buttermilk in here. The rest of the flour. She says mix it until just combined. I would say that is just combined. Or rather very well combined. Okay, so we're going to take 3/4 of the caramel mixture and put it right in to the batter before you put it in.
And I'm assuming the rest will be for like a little topping.
Yeah. This says divided evenly. Crumble in here.
Now we'll put it in the preheated oven, 350.
You want to make sure that they're in the middle of the oven, though, not on top.
Yeah, not too close.
Bottom.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes.
All right, we will show you how it turns out.
See you in 20 minutes.
Okay. Okay, we're about 30 seconds out here. Whoa, they rose a lot.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Look at those. Those are beautiful. Wow, they look really good. They rose quite a bit. I'm really surprised. They look really good. And that's what it looks like when it's all cooked and done. The crust is really nice. Overall, we've had pretty good reviews on it. Yeah, pretty moist. I think it's moist.
Really good.
Good.
I like the flavor. I give it like a 4.5. Tastes like a donut.
A donut? I was thinking
It tastes
that.
a little bit like a donut.
I was thinking that too. It's like, it's really fluffy.
I'm saying 4.5 because it's still a little bit coffee, but
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit of an aftertaste too.
but it's really good. I really like it.
Awesome. What do you think?
Got it.
I think it's good.